What is up, my thrifty friends? Tabs here from the Urban Goddess shop. Welcome back to my channel. I had to put a video and talk about this because this just broke in the news in the reseller world. It was announced yesterday, October 19th, 2023, that Poshmark will be closing down Poshmark Australia, UK, and India. And it's buzzing out there. Everyone's talking about it. I was gonna wait for a work with me, but I thought, you know what? We're just gonna do a quick video right now heading into the weekend while everyone is talking about it and wondering what the heck is going on, because I'm on the same boat. So it was announced yesterday on the socials and the blog that Poshmark will be closing its ventures in Australia, UK, and India. It goes a little bit more detailed, I think, on the blog post. So I'll reference the blog post down below if you want to click on it. But we're just going to read over it right now. So, dear Poshmark community, our mission has always been to put people at the heart of commerce. From the start, we have envisioned a vibrant community that would share their style and create the largest network of shoppable closets across the world. And while our ambition to connect as many closets as possible remains the same, I'm sad to share that we've made the tough decision to close 3 of our expansion marketplaces. So Poshmark UK, Poshmark Australia, and Poshmark India, effective October 26th, 2023, so 1 week notice. I know this is especially hard news for those of you across the globe who have come to know and love Poshmark. Please know that I'm incredibly grateful for you and for the community that we've built together. We hope to be back at some point in the future. This move, while difficult, will allow us to focus our energy and increase our investments in our core markets, the US and Canada. For additional information, please see our FAQ, and thank you for your continued support. With gratitude, Manish. Manish, signed. Okay, so, oh man. Okay, let's start off with who was expecting something like this and who was surprised. Drop them down below. I want to know, were you caught off guard, or is this something you were anticipating? Personally, I was not aware of the struggles that they were having in the other countries. I was not aware. I thought they were all going fine. I thought Australia was going fine. I thought UK was going fine. I thought India was going fine. Not that I would know or that I tune into content from those countries, but I thought everything was going really good. I think were some hiccups everywhere, as there is in every single country, but I actually was caught off guard by this announcement. I was kind of shocked yesterday. I was like, what? Oh my gosh, this is for real. And of course that little, voice in your head goes, oh my gosh, is Canada in trouble too? I personally don't think that we are. I don't. He says they're going to be focusing on the US and Canada, and I think those are their core 2 markets. And if they could nail that cross-border shipping and open the markets to each other, I think that would be the next elevated step. Put aside all the other features they have been working on and trying to come up with and be innovative. If they just nailed that, I think it would grow the platform immensely. Poshmark, if you are listening, put all your efforts right now into this cross-border. Open it between the 2 countries. I think that would be the next biggest growth step, in my opinion. There's really not much else news around it. I have heard people talking about a rumor that they were not able to negotiate the discounted shipping with the postal services in those countries like they do with USPS and Canada Post. So they are able to get discounted shipping through Canada and US, and I think that has an impact on the business. Now, I don't know if that would be a determining factor. The only thing I think that would be a determining factor is if the platform was just failing to thrive because of high cost of shipping. But then I think, you know what, Depop thrives, and actually I feel like with Depop you do your own shipping, so it's not like there's discounted rates or whatever for people unless they're offering them. I don't know. I don't really know. If you have any insight or you want to share something that you heard, please drop down below. What are your thoughts on all of this? Like I said, I was a little bit shocked. I needed a day definitely to process it all before I came out and shared anything, but like I still don't really have any thoughts on it. I don't know. I think like this is an opinion piece, okay? Anytime I'm doing these news things, I'm going to give you the news, but then I'm also going to share my opinion. I feel like they have stretched thin in the last 2 years, and it shows in the features that are coming out, it shows in the bugs, it shows in some of the things that still aren't fixed, like the bid button. How are we like over a year with live selling and the bid button is still just a tap, and accidental bids and cancellations? Like, to me, the slide button, other platforms make it work with a slide button. I just don't get why Poshmark can't. But yeah, like those little things add up where I'm just like, I think they were spread thin. I think they jumped into all these other markets, and I'm sure they were calculated. It's not necessarily like jumping into these markets, but if the app isn't running smoothly, I would say, and yeah, how do you introduce new ones? Anyways, I digress. What I think I'm concerned or maybe a bit worried about is what was capital loss. Doing these ventures, what type of money have they lost or invested into these countries, and that they are not going to work? Does this affect the money flow into Poshmark because now it's a loss? Like those countries are not bringing money in. I don't know. I don't know enough about business. Obviously, I should not be talking about this type of stuff right now. But if you have any insight in how this would affect Poshmark as a whole, I don't know if anyone's checked their stocks. Did something happen with that? Like, there's just so many things that we can look at. I don't even know if they've had one of those quarterly calls recently. I guess I could do some looking into that too. But if anyone has any information or wants to share their thoughts on this,
on the web.
Oh my gosh, Siri jumping in. If anyone has any thoughts on this, please, please, please share them below with us, because I'd love to hear if you guys have insight. Obviously, I do not. So let's go over what I think, like just advice. And this is, man, I feel like a broken record. I say this all the time. Put your eggs in multiple baskets. You should be selling on more than one platform. I think you should, if reselling is your only income, because you are solely relying on one platform. And if something were to go wrong or they were to close up like they did in those other countries, you would lose that income stream. So I do recommend you have at least one other platform that you're selling on. I have Poshmark Canada US and eBay. eBay, I haven't really been watering the grass there. It's a risk that I'm taking not having multiple platforms, but I have diversified my business in other areas, so I do have multiple income streams coming in from my business if something were to drastically change with Poshmark Canada. Number one, I would still have Poshmark US. Now, if both Canada and US like went belly up, I still have other income streams, and I could switch over to eBay. Like, I know that if I watered the grass on eBay, that my eBay store would thrive. I just don't have the time to maintain everything. That's an issue I have right now, is my time. The other thing I wanted to talk about was cashing out your balances. And this is something I've talked about before. Poshmark is not a bank, okay? Do not leave your money there. As soon as you're receiving funds, I would be cashing them out. Personally, I'm cashing out probably every other day, depending when orders are being delivered and stuff. But I usually don't let it get over, like once it hits 200, which for me is like once a day, once every other day, I will cash it out right away. 200 is kind of like that minimum for me. And yeah, I would just get the money in your bank account. Don't leave it in there. And I mean, there's been lots of stories to go around where people say money's gone missing out of their balance and things like that. I personally have not experienced that, but I'm not going to give them the opportunity, right? I want to make sure that that money is all taken out and in my own pocket. And then, like, just one more thing on that, on the closures. I am noticing a pattern. I'm sure we all have, that these types of things are not announced at Posh Fest, which I completely understand why they're not. But like, I feel like the real shoe drops after Posh Fest. Posh Fest is like meh, and then it's like, okay, what's happening 2 weeks after Posh Fest? Because that's where they're making all these big announcements. That's what happened last year with Naver. This year we're closing these markets. I just don't get, like, why not announce it a month or two before Posh Fest so that the event happens, people deal with it, we get over it, then have Posh Fest? Why do they wait until the week after? And how disappointing this year if you were from the UK, Australia, India, and for like some crazy reason you decided to go to San Diego for Posh Fest because you wanted to be a part of it, and you just spent all that money to do that, and they closed the market on you a week later. Like, such a kick in the gut. Like, oh man, I am sick to my stomach for some of these people. And I think the tough thing, I think why people are so upset, and I think I'm hearing more of an uproar from UK sellers, is because they feel like they've been a part of a community. They've been pouring their heart and soul to help build the platform, doing live shows, creating content, and doing it all for free, I might add. Well, I mean, maybe they're getting credits, but like, no one's paid as a seller. Like, they'll give you some credits, but like, it's not like, hey, if you create these reels for us, we're going to pay you $250 a reel. Like that, they don't do that. So these people were doing it to try and grow the platform, and then to be notified by the blog, or maybe they emailed them, I'm not sure, that they literally had 1 week and the platform was closing. I think I'd be mad. I would be so mad. And like, that's one of the big reasons why I don't do free work. Like, if someone wants me to create content, I only accept paid opportunities, and for these types of reasons, because you put your heart and soul into content that you're creating. So yeah, that was just something else I had thought about too, where I was like, man, I feel bad for anyone that was like creating free content for them or traveled all the way to San Diego to be told that their platform was closing. Just devastation complete. Okay, well, on that note, I don't really have much else to say right now. I think I'm still just like whirling in the information like you guys. I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens and what types of changes come out. I hope that this would be a big thing, that they've kind of let go of those things and now they're going to focus on the meat and potatoes. But you know what? Time will tell, and my expectations are pretty low. But whatever, it is what it is. I'm still making sales. I'm still making money. My closets are doing well. So I have no complaints on that. I just put my head down, source, list, repeat. That's what I keep telling myself. But yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys think on anything here, any insights, any thoughts. Doesn't matter, drop them down below. Let's have some healthy discussions down below. All right, let me dust these off. Wishing you guys so many sales, lots of sales over the weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye.